Hi, my name is Geoff, and you're here with me and a guest today to talk about Extra Life, and more specific, what on earth it is I'm going to be doing on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. But first, let's go to Max.
What is Extra Life? Extra Life is a program of Children's Miracle Network hospitals with over 50,000 participants. Since its inception in 2008, Extra Lifers from across the globe have raised more than $100 million for local member children's hospitals. Money raised through Extra Life supports member children's hospitals, funding critical treatments or pediatric medical equipment, making sure that hospitals can provide charitable care to those in need, specialized services not covered by insurance. The money Geoff is raising this year is going towards his local Children's Miracle Network hospital, Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, New Jersey. Children's Specialized Hospital is the preeminent provider of rehabilitation healthcare services for children with special needs, serving children affected by brain injury, spinal cord injury, premature birth, autism, developmental delays, and life-changing illnesses. Every dollar you give helps provide life-saving care to children in need. Thanks for your donations, and now back to the show. Take it away, Geoff.
Thanks, Max. So, today, before we talk about the second annual Ghostnola Industries Cardio Souls Charity Variation Guaranteed World Record attempt, I have an old friend with me. We've known each other by many, many, many names over the years. I'm just gonna let this mystery person introduce themselves and give as much or as little background information as they would like to about themselves and why maybe they think they're here today.
Thank you, Geoff. My name is Rishi. I have known Geoff since 2002, and my fondest memory of Geoff is when he and our friend Jess came to visit me in New York to watch Bubba Hotep in a theater, and Geoff alarmed all of the other moviegoers because he had just gone to wrestling school, and
I had just washed out of wrestling school. Thank you.
Okay, just washed out, gone to and been expelled from wrestling school, and he proceeded to take a pratfall down every single staircase in this theater. And then, when we were on the sidewalk afterwards, he showed me how wrestlers can make fake vomit in their mouth with a protein shake and I think like some coleslaw or something, and then proceeded to do that on Second Avenue. That was a good night.
If you're
And
not,
Bubba Hotep was a very good movie.
it was a great movie. I love that movie. If the people aren't familiar with Second Ave in New York City, I mean, how would you just give it like a quick sentence summary?
Full of people who do not find someone projectile vomiting on the sidewalk at 10 at night particularly reassuring or comforting.
Okay. I mean, I would just like to thank good old Sumi Sakai and Brutal Bob Evans for keeping me safe while I was making decisions with my life that weren't the best, but I'm still in more or less one piece since then. Thanks,
Speaking
guys.
of which, I have one other thing to say. So, I am a surgeon, and when Geoff and I first started hanging out, I was in residency, and reliably on Sundays, I would get a text message from Geoff, sometimes with pictures, um, asking me about the need to go to a doctor for various injuries that Geoff had sustained while his band played concerts in New Brunswick. And the most memorable one was a picture of his nearly amputated thumb, saying, "Should I get this looked at?"
I don't know if it'll focus, but there's a little lump of scar tissue, like right here from what's
Uh-huh.
left of that. Yeah, you can kind of.
Yeah. So that was it's living vicariously through someone who at the time really didn't have any sense of self-preservation. So I managed to get all of my self-destructive tendencies taken care of through Jeff's actions.
It's kind of like I've always been a teacher, huh?
Yeah, you sure did demonstrate some object lessons to me.
Well,
So what are we doing? You want to know what I think we're doing?
sure.
Um, I think that we're going to be talking about whatever it is you plan to do in November, and I'm going to tell you why your particular plan is dangerous and will hurt you.
Okay.
That tends to be like the theme of our interactions.
Sometimes we
Am
talk
I
about our
off?
cats.
Well, we can talk about our cats. I can talk about cats all day long.
All right. Well, I am here with you, as you succinctly put it. I need a straight man to optimize my goofery. And what good is anything without that? So you will be the first one going up, although you are the fourth one that we have recorded. So some other people have been privy to this so far, and I think you did kind of hit on a point that will be brought up in a later video that it's like the wrestling gods just aren't done with you yet. You're still practically destructible. And I said, yeah,
I'm sorry, did you say you're practically destructible?
yes.
Yes.
I meant
Yes, you
say
are. You
indestructible.
are.
I said
You
destructible.
are.
I'm not going to edit it
You are
out.
not. You are nigh vulnerable.
Nigh
You
on
are
in. I am.
practically invincible.
Okay, have you seen Highlander? It was a documentary that was filmed in real time, and it took place in New York City.
No.
I just got to keep the head on the body, and I'm okay.
You know that there can be more than one, right? In real life.
Well, it's funny you mention that because this year my team, Team Malorts, and we'll talk about why we're referencing Malort. We have 4 people fundraising. They're not all doing what I'm doing. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's just me. They're
All right.
they're a lot safer. So, well, if at any point you get confused, please stop me. I'm not going to be offended. We're here to talk ultimately about a video game called Dark Souls and what I like to do when I'm playing Dark Souls. As you put it, it is a video game, correct? I'll elaborate on that, thankfully, with Wikipedia. We love Wikipedia. Here
I've
we
heard
go.
about this. It's very difficult, isn't it? This game.
That is the reputation, but there was a bit of advice that I received from our good Albertan friend that you met at my wedding, which is sword and board. You just get a sturdy shield and you let them clank off it, and then you stick them right back. You just got to be patient.
Good general life advice, really.
It is. Okay, so as
Get a
Wikipedia
sword,
puts
get
it,
a shield, and be patient.
there you go. Don't have a shield, but we have a sword upstairs. You've seen that sword.
I have.
Dark Souls is a 2011 action role-playing game developed by From Software and published by Namco Bandai Games. The game takes place in the Kingdom of Lordran, where players assume the role of a cursed undead character who begins a pilgrimage to discover the fate of their kind.
So you're playing someone who's undead and cursed,
Yes,
and you're trying to figure out what happens to people who are dead and cursed.
correct.
I should think that's self-evident. It's a loop. You know what happens when you're undead and cursed? You go on a search to find out what happens to people who are undead and cursed.
So
That's hell,
Yep.
being trapped in a Mobius loop.
you've kind of stumbled onto the cycle of the game series. You see, there's Demon Souls was the first one. Dark Souls is kind of like a spiritual. If you're familiar with Wasteland and Fallout's connection, think of it kind of like that, right? Then you got your Dark Souls 2. Then you got your Dark Souls 3. And then there's Elden Ring. And, there's some other ones as well that I'm not too fond on. But all of these games, yeah, you kind of... the ultimate lesson is that whatever you do, it doesn't matter because things are just going to happen. None of it matters. Yeah.
Reminds me of the relationship between Kirby and Silent Hill.
It's just make a choice, don't make a choice. Somebody will make the choice you didn't make. It's fine.
You're doomed no matter what.
Yeah, you are. And speaking of dooming yourself, a big thing that's popular in other marathon events, like ones that raise money for the old Doctors Without Borders, is they do speed runs. A lot of times with gimmicks. Usually it's restricting yourself to specific weapons or items, or just going as fast as you can. And sometimes, yes, sometimes, it physically assaults the player. And even more so, it'll do both. And that's the sort of run I plan to do on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. For the second time, I have successfully done this once. So when you are giving me advice, please keep in mind, I've proved that I can do it. I'm a year older and a year more beat down, but I did it once.
I noticed you don't say that you're a year wiser.
There's no wisdom in here.
No, there really isn't.
Yeah. So we have a title for what I'm going to do, which is Cardio Souls, or How I Have Decided to Spend One Day a Year Physically Assaulting My Own Body in the Name of Charity while playing a video game using cardiovascular exercise equipment.
I'm sorry, not while using cardiovascular equipment. You're playing the video game using cardiovascular
I
equipment.
guess while using is more correct. You're right.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that you didn't have like the controller hooked up to a Nordic track or something.
No, people have hooked it up to the Sega Bass Fishing controller, and they've done it with the Guitar Hero controller. I am just using a normal controller, but I will be using cardiovascular equipment. And mine is a specific one. So let's get to the rules, because you got to have rules, right?
Okay.
All right. While playing the game, I must be using a Stair-Stepper as my cardio machine of choice.
Okay.
You know, it's not the one that looks like the stairs that rotate in your fancy gyms. It's just the one with the paddles that go up and down. But I think we can agree that's a Stair-Stepper.
That's a stair stepper, and I think it's consistent with the theme of hopelessness and futility. Because much like your search to find out what happens to undead accursed souls, you are spending a lot of energy not to actually accomplish anything as far as like going anywhere.
I mean, I'm going places with this, unless there's a cutscene playing, because as you know in video games, they like to give you cutscenes, they wrest control away from you, and that's when I get to rest.
Okay, all right. So you stop for the cutscenes.
Yes.
Okay. How long, like, are we talking here?
Oh,
for
we're gonna
the-
get there.
for the game? Okay, all right. Keep going.
All glitches in the game are valid. I remember years ago, you know, we were playing Vice City, and you know, we had the Game Shark. Not quite as wild as that, but you know, let's say you could turn one consumable item into 999 whenever you wanted. You know, let's say, you know, you could do things like, I don't know, clipping through the floor and end up in areas that, you know, it should take you, you know, 5 to 30 minutes to get to normally. Just all of that's fair game.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Ooh. As soon as I defeat a boss, there is a user-submitted, donation-based alcoholic beverage queue providing me with a drink which I must immediately consume.
I'm sorry. Say that part again in more straightforward English, please.
As soon as I defeat a boss, there is a user-submitted, donation-based alcoholic beverage queue, which provides me a drink I then must immediately consume.
Okay, so my question is, are you telling me that if I donate enough money, you have to drink whatever I tell you to drink?
How-
Or whenever I tell you to drink?
Okay, hang on. How about I read you the drink queue from last year so you can see what I have put in my body, kept in my body successfully.
Okay.
So, there's about 26 bosses in the game. You don't have to fight all of them. They're optional. A lot of optional bosses.
Okay.
Figure somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 to 15. That's a typical playthrough. Last year I did it in 15. And that was with, you know, some extra ones I didn't really need to do. So here's our drinks. Malort. 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 Cherry Coke Zero. Malort. Carolina Reaper Rum.
I don't think I've heard of that.
It's, you know the Carolina Reaper, you know, them peppers?
Yes,
Well,
yes,
It's
yes.
a rum that's infused with that. It is very spicy. It gives me the hiccups.
Okay.
It's good. Oh, Big Wave beer. A very nice beer from Aloha Brewing. In Old Fashioned, they also use Cherry Coke Zero.
That's okay.
I didn't say you couldn't say cocktail, so somebody put in a cocktail.
Sure, no, that's valid. I'm just wondering how it would taste.
Oh, ice water. Just a pint, little pint glass of ice water. That was from our good friend Donnie. Donnie also realized that there was no system to say you couldn't do just straight water, and that's valid. It's you can bend the rules. If you're giving in money to a good cause.
Donnie was looking out for you, my friend.
Donnie was looking out for me. Yes. After that, another big wave. And this is the point after 10 beverages preparing for a boss that we'll get into the gimmick of that boss in a minute. There's a boss that's very notorious in this game for you get it done in one shot or, you're going to be there for a couple of hours. So I took a bathroom break. That was my one bathroom break, for the event. And I came back and I did that boss in one shot. So I was very proud of myself. And I demanded that somebody bring me another Big Wave beer because I earned it. I was elated. Then, well, you and I are older men. The classic films featuring such luminaries as Brendan Fraser and Christopher Walken and Alicia Silverstone, Blast from the Past. Do you remember what Mr. Walken was trying to push on everybody in that movie?
I don't. I don't remember.
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, so our buddy Josh was over here, and he was really insistent on me drinking a hot Dr. Pepper. And I said, look, if you really want that, you got to donate, right? We've had beer, we've had shots, we've had water, just soda. So he went to the store and he bought some Dr. Pepper and he donated the money and we let him go pour the Dr. Pepper into a pan and he put it on our stove and he heated it up. And then before he gave it to me, he added a little something extra. I drank hot Dr. Pepper with, a shot of Malort in it.
Can we talk about Malort for a second?
Sure.
So I don't know if you know this, but I love Aquavit as a beverage. I think it's great. I have no fewer than 3 different kinds of Aquavit in my house. And Malort is a fascinating drink that has recently, I think, unfairly become synonymous with torture.
Mm.
I think it's an acquired taste.
Oh, I agree.
But I don't. I'm a little upset to see it being used as punishment.
Well, see, here's the thing. I actually like it. So back when we first started hanging out, that was when I was forcing myself to get really into grapefruit juice because I also decided I needed to, be healthier with drinks. So I got myself into, not your ocean spray sugary, but your pure grapefruit juice, that really has that pucker on the end. And
yeah, it doesn't taste good.
No, but it's good for you.
Yes.
Yes. So
well, it's good for you because of how bad it tastes.
Yeah, and so Malort, it was given to me in a Secret Santa by a good friend of mine. And I drank a tug on camera when we were all opening our gifts. And everybody was very disappointed. I was like, it just tastes like grapefruit juice to me.
Are you done with your list of things that you drank?
Oh, no, we're not done.
Oh, boy.
Well, see, this is where we had some more people being kind. A pint of ice water, a pint of ice water. And then for the final boss, a big wave and a pint of ice water.
That's a lot of beer.
It's a lot. So let's get to timing here. So I mentioned people like to speedrun this game. When they're going as fast as they possibly can and using all of the glitches, they can get this done in single-digit minutes. You can just rip this game apart. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of tomfoolery, but it can be done. My target time is 7 hours. Last year I did it in about 6.5. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 shots of Malort, 1 Carolina Reaper rum, 1, 2, 3, 4 big waves, 2 cocktails. I'll call the hot Dr. Pepper with Malort a cocktail. And 1, 2, 3, 4 glasses of water in 6.5 hours.
How are you doing by the end of that?
You know what? I paced around my basement for an hour, nursing another water and then another big wave. The next day, I got up. I just rested, as you would imagine, but I ate a delicious IHOP breakfast and was proud of myself.
Now, Jeff,
Yeah.
forgive me. What were you doing the Stair-Stepper last year as well?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I did the
Did you
stair.
experience any loss of coordination at all?
I didn't fall
Did you
off. I know
fall
where you're
off the
going.
Stair-Stepper?
So let's take a step back. I prepared. Okay. So leading up, I watched my water intake, and the day of, I have my wonderful Old Bones therapy stuff. I'm hoping they'll sponsor me and send me nice stuff. They're ignoring me on social media, the bastards. But it's got a little sleeve for an ice pack, and it goes on your lower back. So when I was getting ready, I threw that on. I also have 2 of these for your knee. Nice and Velcro. Got the little pack, threw those on. So I iced myself down. I made sure that, I was chilled out. I gave myself about a half hour of treatment, as they say, and then I started to prepare myself for battle, as it were. So I had my compression socks. I had my calf compression sleeves. I had my Old Bones Therapy knee braces. Now, you're familiar with Mad Max, right? Remember when he gets shot in the knee? So, can't get it to squeak, but this is a metal hinged knee brace. And I had 2 of them on. And finally, just some nice, flat, fairly wide, high top lifting boots to kind of strap it all in. No swelling. It was good, I know that you shouldn't have compression hose on for 6.5 hours, but
No, that's actually fine. I wear compression hose every day, and I leave it on for more than 6.5 hours.
well, now I have non-binding medical advice that tells me I can ignore the manufacturer's instructions.
Yes, this does not legally count as medical advice.
No, this is not. This is just a
Even
conversation.
though I am advising you on medical issues, and I am a physician.
It's just 2 weird friends having a conversation here.
Mhm.
We were gonna get a little weird last year too. Remember I told you that boss that's notoriously difficult?
Yes.
So I had an incentive called pain mode. And how pain mode works is I have this vest that I can strap to my body
Mhm.
and fit 3-pound bricks into.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And every time I died to the boss, I was going to add another 3-pound brick. I have 10 3-pound bricks. And I wouldn't be allowed to take it off until I defeated the boss. That said, I got it in the first try. I didn't have to do it. But for this year pain mode, if I raise $1,499.99, then pain mode is activated. And it's a little different this year. I immediately have to put on the vest, put all the bricks in, so we're at 30 pounds. I have my ankle weights. I got 2 of them. They're 5 pounds apiece, so now we're at 40 pounds. And don't worry, I recently acquired some weighted gloves. They're only 1 pound apiece, all right? It's 42 pounds, I can do that. And every time I beat a boss, then I can, take some weight out or off. So once again, 26 optional bosses. I fought 15 last year. I can end up in quite a position this year, depending upon when pain mode kicks in or where I'm at game-wise. I could get stuck with not all, but a decent amount of the weight at the very end. So I guess, this kind of gets us to what sort of pitfalls and perils you see for, this friend of yours that's sprinting towards middle age, trying to accomplish this for a second time with, I would say, even harsher penalties self-imposed upon myself for charity.
You could die. You could die. You could die for charity. You could die for anything, but you could die.
Yeah.
You are not approaching middle age. You are squarely within middle age. Given the way you live, you might actually be far over the line of middle age. You may be in your twilight years.
Mm.
So let's not overstate your capabilities.
Okay.
Or really, let's definitely not overstate your physiologic reserve.
Okay, so I have been, trying to mix up my training, all right? At least 2 days a week I'm doing the weights for, like 50 minutes. Okay.
Hmm.
3 or 4 days a week before work, I'm going out. I'm running 6.5 kilometers. That's 4 freedom miles. And then, I try and sneak in another 1 or 2 90-minute sessions on the Stair-Stepper in a week, just to mix it all up.
Okay. No, I get it. That's great. I'm actually really proud of you for training that consistently and really with that variation. That's impressive. But we're not talking about you running a half marathon or doing like anything straightforward. It's you're going to be doing this while getting profoundly drunk.
Okay, but here's the thing. I know the science says no. It was honestly just sweating out of me as soon as I got it in. It smelled like the
Yeah.
worst just Italian frat house brewery down here.
Yeah, so the science says no, common sense says no, reality says no, but sure, let's go with that. Let's say
I
that's what
did not
happened.
fall over. I didn't stutter or sway. It was, just
You know what I would definitely donate extra if you could get your hands on one of those cheap little breathalyzers and demonstrate to the
Ooh.
world your blood alcohol content as this goes on.
I mean, that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be great. Um, so I mean, I think you know the kind of. Let's just start with like the fact that you're going to be wearing weights and you're going to do stair stepper.
Okay,
I
no, I
think you
can I
know
can earn the weights off by defeating bosses.
what.
Yeah, if I beat a
I don't think
boss,
you mentioned.
I have to. If we hit it, it goes on. Every time I beat a boss, I take out a brick. Right. Once all the bricks are off, then I can take off the ankle weights. Then I can take off the gloves.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Is there anything I can do to make you put the weights back on?
Well, see, that's where the fun that happens when you join the stream later, and there's a lot of the booze that's in me, and I'm more open and suggestive to doing silly things for strong charitable donations.
Right. I listen. I don't want to minimize the degree of admiration I have for you or doing this for a good cause. I really don't. Um, I think uh, this is going to be hilarious. It's going to be very funny. And what's going to be funny is you hurting yourself. I want to be very clear about that. It's not, oh, you're going to act like a clown. It's that's funny. It's you're going to hurt yourself, and when you do, it will be funny.
So
Not that hurting yourself, not that you hurting yourself is intrinsically funny, but the way in which it's going to happen is going to be funny. Because I'm picturing you fully weighted, losing your balance on the stair stepper and yelping as you just go ass over tea kettle on
mm.
the side. I think that would be great.
I mean, that is the new hot variable this year that we didn't have. I mean, I was surprised that I didn't blow a wheel last year. Um, I bought two heavier stair steppers after because I figured, well, this was the cheapest stair stepper I could find from the company, by the way, uh, that I used for all that time, as well as the lead up before then. So I bought their heavier duty one, and it failed, and I got it replaced, and that one failed. So I've just gone
How
back.
did it fail?
Huh?
How did it fail?
The hydraulic cylinder stopped functioning. It just had no resistance. I think an O-ring blew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm back to the cheap one that's very noisy, and I figure, sometime in October I'll buy two of them, so I have two brand new ones, and if I break both of those, the old one to get me through, I think it's a good plan.
What will you be wearing during this? Do you have a funny costume?
Um, you know,
Aside from the old bones therapy wraps.
last year, and I will insert the image here. I believe I was trying to channel Josh Brolin or Brand from the Goonies. I had my bandana, tied around my head. I was wearing hot pants with some undershorts. I had on a T-shirt that my friend Justine, who is a great artist, and you can find her stuff on Magic the Gathering cards. She had a Dark Souls shirt that I have. I was wearing that one. I was thematically appropriate.
Okay. And this year, um, well, you went after Goonies. How about dressing as Ali Sheedy's character from The Breakfast Club?
Now, I did think about wearing my Reaper robes because I have one whole set that I've only worn, in the house. I did not get to walk for that
What?
graduation.
Your Reaper robes?
Yeah, my Reaper robes. Don't you have a
I don't
master's
know.
degree? I have
I actually
two.
don't. I don't have one. I don't have one master's degree.
Yeah. I'm like pretty knowledgeable about teaching and data science, actually, doctor.
Yeah, no, I knew that. And really knowing that is what kind of made this scheme of yours a little surprising because I thought with all those fancy degrees, you would have stopped doing things like this.
Well, we can take it down to take it up. As after my brother passed, that's his sailor charm. I ate a lot of my feelings, and I was very sad. And I started realizing that I can't just sit on the couch and eat and play video games, which is where I got into the Stair-Stepper.
Hmm.
And once I started with our good friend Mark. Getting more into doing streaming stuff when it's fun. That's the key thing. I made my hobby my job once. I don't play music anymore, but I stream when it's fun and convenient, and once or twice a year, doing a big one for charity. Why not? You know, it's nice to
Um,
build community and feel useful.
I all of that is very true. How long has it been since Jonathan passed? 4 years?
It has been 5 years coming up.
Five
Yeah.
years. Doesn't seem like that long, does it?
And we will actually be streaming the day after his birthday. Look at that.
Um, hmm. I have no doubt that he would have been very entertained watching you do this. I think he would have called you an idiot as much as I am.
I have a very positive attitude and opinion about how this is going to roll out.
I think it's going to work out really well. Again, I don't actually think you're going to hurt yourself badly. I just think that if you do, even if it's minor, it's going to be hilarious. Um, can I pick the beverages that you will drink?
Oh yes,
If I give you advance warning, what I'm going to ask for.
you can donate for beverages. That is true.
Bijou?
Oh yeah, we have that. I was surprised. So we listed off the contents of our liquor cabinet last year. We nobody suggested the Baijiu. I was quite surprised. I will say that will be limited to one only. So that will be a high ticket item. If I'm taking a shot, it's going to be probably a half, maybe a whole, but it's only going to be one. It is 50% sorghum, 50% wheat, and just as Midge put it, it's smells like fire, tastes like trash.
Yeah, I have described it to people as specifically a tire fire. But you don't hate it, which is the real talent
Yeah.
behind it, right? It's I will say objectively, this tastes bad, but I don't hate it.
I mean, so there's an interesting twist this year that the kind people of Twitter voted on, which is if I can defeat a boss without getting hit, the peanut gallery also has to take a drink.
Hmm?
We have procured some special seating for the basement here. We have 3 theater chairs, so we can kind of get a Statler and Waldorf or Mystery Science Theater crew going on. I mean, potentially I could give you to donate at a special time such that I could pretty much guarantee there's a boss that I could defeat without getting hit, so that not just me, but everybody else also has to drink Baijiu.
Hmm.
Depending upon
And I
how,
could be
devious you want to get.
I could be in control of making them drink
Oh yeah.
if you get through the boss. Mm.
We're gonna have a big, tall, strong Albertan down here again. Jess is planning on coming out. It's gonna, there'll be some familiar faces.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'll let them know it's from Rishi with love. Well, you've been a good sport. I do have a couple other questions. Let's say we're in a bizarre universe where maybe you didn't learn through me not to be self-destructive, and you found yourself doing what I just explained to you. What is one
Mhm.
song that you would like to listen to while you're doing such a terrible idea for charity?
Well, so the initial temptation would be to try and pick a song that would be a good soundtrack for my activities, as if it were being filmed. But I think that misses the mark. I think what you want is the musical equivalent of what you're doing to your body.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're looking for is something that would be very entertaining to other people who are watching you listen to it, but you would feel as if you accomplished something by making it through there. I think listening to DC Talk's debut album, you could also go real current and listen to Jojo Siwa's new music, which is very bad. It is very bad indeed.
That's you truly are a man of mystery.
I am coming out with a short film released through A24. No, I'm not. I don't create, and I am not a content creator. I go to work, I come home, I pet my cat.
I mean, hey, that's ultimately what I do. I have my 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. I like my 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. I'm no longer dead when I come home like when I was a teacher. If I feel like streaming, I stream. If I don't, I play with the cat or I watch a movie. Rishi, you've been a peach as always. I'll
Mm,
give you the last word. What do you got?
I got nothing, man. I can't wait to see you do this.
Well,
And the best part is that for the first time in my life, my sadism is actually going to benefit somebody. I think
true.
that qualifies as being kind.
Yeah, this year, and we can thank good old Skippy Granola from Canada. He said, Jeffrey, just show the people your face. I bet you'll raise more money. And I said, last year it was just the video game and audio, but we will set up the cam. There's projects going on in the basement. This wall behind me, it's going to be green soon. We're chroma keying it out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there'll be me all laden with weight and sweaty and struggling. Oh, also, yeah, I get to stop when I'm drinking the drinks, by the way, because people paid good money for
Of
me
course.
to drink those drinks. Just
Yeah, you don't want to spill.
yeah, it's not about got to get it in.
And don't forget about the breathalyzer. I think that's a great
I
idea.
will I will do my best to remember. If you have any suggestions from your medical connections, feel free to forward it to me, and I'll investigate further.
I will.
Well, thank you.
This has been fun.
It's always fun.